Lions TV, this is your post-match analysis video for yesterday's friendly 2-2 draw at the Den against Charlton. It's not often I do post-match analysis for friendly matches, however, plenty went on and this one definitely warrants one. As always, let's start out by taking a look at the 11 that Gary Rowett picked to start the match. It was George Long in goal, three centre-backs, Jake Cooper, Sean Hutchinson skippered the side and Murray Wallace, Joe Bryan, left wing-back, Ryan Leonard, right wing-back, Jules Saville and Casper Dunor were in central midfield, and then I had it like this as the lineup, as Fleming in behind, Volgul Sama and Kevin Nisbet. In reality, after watching the game, the first half, it looked more like a front three to me, with Fleming left side, drifting back into the middle occasionally, Nisbet central and Volg Sama on the right. I may be wrong, but that's how I saw it. You could cover what Millwall did in this first half in an instant, really, but it was all about, unfortunately, the Anoraks in the first half. Is that the team that I think he'll start the season with? No, but I don't think it's a million miles off of it. Danny Mack, of course, missing. There was first reports that he'd injured a quad. Second reports that his girlfriend's had a baby boy. So congratulations to the McNamaras if that is the case. Ryan Leonard deputised and Casper Dunor coming for his first start, with Wes Harding have to wait his time on the bench until the second half. Look, everyone's saying it. It's just a friendly. Results don't matter. It's about getting minutes in the tank and dusting off the cobwebs. However, with this being our fourth or fifth friendly now, there was a behind closed doors friendly last Saturday away at Bournemouth, which they lost 1-0 for a Dominic Solanke goal. I don't know. Okay, yes, we need minutes in the tank, but there's been a lot of games. They've done a week in Spain. You would expect, with 10 days till the season kicks off, cracks to be ironed out by now and players to be in sync and on the same page and ready to go with plenty of fuel in the tank. And we looked anything but that in the first half. Couldn't keep hold of the ball for love nor money, partly because Charlton had a lot of it, and partly because every time we got it, we just give it straight back to them. And for me personally, everyone will have their own opinions of this, I was a little bit worried after yesterday. I have been saying for a long time in videos that my biggest issue going into this season is our defence. They've been brilliant for us. Three at the back, well, the back three that started last night, Murray Wallace, Jake Cooper and Hutchinson. Hutchinson and Murray Wallace aren't getting any younger. And I don't think the club think Alex Mitchell is the answer. We should have broke the bank and got a Ballard or potentially a Creswell. We didn't do that, and now I think we're looking at players coming towards the end of their time frame at the club, and we're looking at a massive rebuild at the back. We was very lucky with Hutchinson and Cooper. Some of Neil Harris's best work was to get those players through the door for not a lot of money at all, and they've been the mainstay of our defence for a very long time in League One and the Championship. But I am worried. Also, of course, what's worrying me is the goalkeeper. An early shot from Charlton, which deflected off Jake Cooper's arse, I think, and found its way through to Long. But by the time it got there, he was already on the floor. And he flapped it badly. That won't fill the defenders with confidence. However, I've got to say this, neither of the goals last night were down to George Long at all. And I feel that now people are just going, get Long out of the team. He's fucking useless. Which he is. And for me, he doesn't even look like a goalkeeper. But we was 2-0 down, and that wasn't down to George Long. It was down to a lot of disjointment, a lot of players not being on the same page, having no ideas coming forward, no pace. Charlton, a League One side just up the road, with a polar opposite, and it just shows you that if a manager wants to implement a style of play at a football club, you know, he can and will do that regardless of budget. Dean Holden has been in there since, I think, December, and they were popping it around like prime Barcelona in that first half. I don't know whether they was that good or we was making them look that good, but the end result was the same, and the writing was on the wall when the first goal came. They was getting joy down our right-hand side. Their left wingers, players always looking to get beyond the man they've passed it to. Pass and move, get beyond, and cause threat. You know, you don't shoot, you won't score, you don't get in the opposition's box, you won't create chances to win football matches. And they were just constantly taking those risks. Even when they was fucking it up at the back, and their goalkeeper got away with a few last night, you have to take those risks. If you're prepared to play that way, they're the risks you take, and we don't take those risks. And DJ Crazy Kev, our mad sponsor, call him what you like, Regal Elevators, Wallpaper Guy, Looney Lifts is another one. He hit the nail on the head last night. He said, we have not got the centre-backs to play free at the back. And you could argue in the past we've had a lot of good away results with Gary Rowett, lots of clean sheets. But I think in the here and now with those players, especially the age they are, they're not ball-playing centre-backs. And they can't really play it. It's never been their forte. It's never been their strong point. So I think really now, maybe a 4 at the back, you get away with it a bit more rigid, a bit more structured. 2 centre-backs. This 3 centre-backs, with those 3 trying to play at the back, it isn't going to work for us anymore, I don't think. And we look very open. Charlton shredded us apart at will when they get the first goal. Guy goes down the right-hand side. This time they don't double up. He turns left, he turns right. Ryan Leonard does the right thing, doesn't dive in, but he stands up a beautiful left-footed cross, and out of nowhere his mate comes flying in, unmarked, late into the box, arriving late, which is another thing we don't do. Heads home, and we're 1-0 down, and it just got worse very, very quickly, didn't it? We tried to get back into the game. Like I said, their goalkeeper had a couple where we passed it straight to people. Fleming laid in Nisbet. Nisbet turned the shot straight at the keeper, flipped it over the bar. Big questions asked about Zian Fleming's performance last night. People saying, hey, don't want to be here no more. He's had enough. He wants out. I'll be honest with you. A long, long time ago, before he hit his purple patch, he'd just come back from injury. He weren't doing too bad. I think he scored 1 or 2. In the box where we sit, we did some fan cams after the game. And my mate Oliver, he still gets grief for it now because he said he's the new Aidan O'Brien. And that's no disrespect to Aidan O'Brien or to Zian Fleming. And in a sense, I know where he's coming from because I don't think Fleming has tailed off. I don't think he's disinterested. I just think all eyes are massively on him now more than ever. And what he does in games is he can go into a game and he can have weldies. But what he can also do more than half the time, I would say, is have absolutely no impact on a game. You'll not even know he's out there, but he'll pop up at a pivotal moment and score a very important goal, just like Aidan O'Brien used to do very, very well. And that's not that's not an insult. That's not being derogatory. That's derogatory. That's that's just being honest. And Fleming, I don't think he's disinterested. I just think he's not been getting into games, and sometimes that can happen with him. So we're 1-0 down. We're struggling to get into it. Opinions on the new guy. Kasper, I keep calling him Oscar. Kasper Dinor. Look, he looks all right. His work part, he cleared yesterday. He would have trained probably twice maximum with his new teammates. He's youngish, 26. He's Belgian, new to the country. It's going to take him time. But I like what I saw from him. Busy on the ball, bouncing around, trying to make things happen. Put a lovely cross in for Ryan Leonard, which Leonard made the run for and got just in front of the perfect ball. So quite Billy Mitchell-esque in his endeavour. Gets about the pitch. Always looking to pop the ball about, which is good. And he looked quite good in the first half, I thought. With one of the standout things to take good from the first half. Not that there was many. The second goal is a goal of beauty. And if Barcelona scored that in 2009 or whenever it was, when Messi was dominating for him, 15, whenever, take your pick, it went on for a long time. I think if a top side scores that, top European side or a top Premier League side, they're talking about it for a long, long time. Again, was Charlton that good, or did we allow them to do it? Because we was struggling. And while I'm on the subject, I thought Joe Bryan was terrible yesterday. I'm really pleased he's at the club and I'm sure he'll come good. But I didn't think he played well at all in that first half. Kept trying to really turn them over, and I sensed he was getting frustrated and giving the ball back to him. Anyway, they get the second goal. It's a long diagonal over his head, brought down by a player, cuts inside, and again, people overlapping, looking to get beyond, pass and move, and they do a 1-2 on the edge of the box, take 3 defenders out of the game at once. Long comes out. I don't feel we could have done anything else. Thought we did the right thing. Goes at the guy's feet. He squares it, and it's a 7-man move, I think. Front to back in a very short space of time. That sees the Anoraks 2-0 up. They're fucking posting on social media. This is easy. We're coming here for the win finally. But they still did not get it. Half time, I didn't have the commentary on, because obviously I was commentating myself on the live stream. Over 7,000 who tuned in last night from all over the world. So thanks again for that. We passed 21,000 subscribers during the stream. But there's the dream, 25. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Second half, one change. Murray Wallace comes off and George Evans comes on. At that point, I was quite pleased that I didn't have the commentary and crowd noise turned on, because I bet Gary Rowett was getting all sorts of dog's abuse. I don't know why that was the only one sub at half time. I don't know if it was injury calls or whatever, but Evans come on, left side of the back three, and he looked okay, and the game was a little bit scrappy. We tried to get back into it, again without much quality, and it's when the substitutes are made, I think it was 5 subs on the hour, SA, Amaku, Billy Mitchell. That's when the game really turned on its head. Billy Mitchell, I thought, was a driving force behind that. And he gets us back in the game almost instantly, incidentally, playing against his own brother, Zach Mitchell. Well done to the Mitchell boys. There they are. Big moment for the family, who are friends of mine. So, yeah, glad for him for that. But more than anything, I was glad that Billy Mitchell was on the pitch because he puts a beautiful thread-needle ball through to Nisbet, who has a lot to do at this point, and then Nisbet does the rest, cuts into the box, keeps his cool, fires across the keeper, in off the post. 2 points I want to pick up there. One, for the people to say Billy Mitchell never passes the fucking ball forward, because people weren't making the right runs for him. If people make the right runs for him, or they're advanced of him in decent positions, he will pass the ball forward. If he's got a wall of defenders and Millwall players standing still in front of him, he hasn't always, he isn't always going to pick the right ball or the best ball in the fans' eyes and knock it forward. I think he's a very good player, and he had a bit between his teeth last night. Obviously wanted bragging rights indoors when he got home. Didn't want to listen to his little brother saying we beat you tonight. But look, it was a brilliant ball, and if people make the right runs, I'm confident he's got he's got it in his locker to pick those passes. Now I'm going to move on to Kevin Nisbet, because Nisbet, for me, I've not seen loads of him. From what I've seen, he is the complete striker. I've said this already in the video. He is an old school type centre forward, in my opinion. What he does is he leads the line and he drags defenders all over the place. I've seen it a lot already. I saw it in that behind closed doors friendly against Bromley. I've seen clips from the Sutton game, of course, and I watched the game last night. What Nisbet does is he leads the line and he drags the team up the pitch. He pulls wide, he receives, and then he'll look for the run, and he'll make that run either from left to central or right to central, and he'll drag defenders with him. And he always seems to find himself in a bit of space, and from that point he'll then drive towards the goal by himself, in turn dragging the team up the pitch. And as I said, he looks like the complete striker. Love Bradders, would love to see him play alongside him. What will Gary Rout do next Saturday against Middlesbrough, I don't know yet. He'll probably go one up front and be a bit defensive away from home. But Bradshaw's a different type of striker. He's a poacher, he's a fox in the box. He gets in the right places at the right times. But Kevin Nisbet is a player for me that can lead the line and lead from the front. It could almost be a skipper, because he can be vocal, he can be physical with the way he's dragging the team up the pitch. And as I said, he makes these runs and drags defenders all over the place. And it was a brilliant, brilliant finish. It may not look as good as it actually was. That it was not an easy finish. Still plenty to do. And we're back in the game. And then after that, a similar type of goal. Romain Esse on. And he picks out Idemo Amaku, for me, who's been, along with Nisbet, a fucking shining light in pre-season. I didn't know anything about Amaku. I assumed he was going to be like a little wide, not Tyler Bury, more legs hopefully and more desire, like a Nana Boateng or maybe a Mason Bennett type wide player that, tricky winger. And he's definitely not that. He's powerful, he's pacey. Again, looking to hurt the opposition. He receives a brilliant Billy Mitchell-esque ball from Romain Esse, and he drives past, actually, Billy Mitchell's brother Zach into the box, holds his cool, and slots it past the goalkeeper. And it was, again, a very good goal under pressure. He put a fucking long run in to get to that point. And we're 2-2. And after that, we take that. Is it just a friendly? Does it matter? Well, for me, it does, as I said earlier, because we need to be on point now. We need to be firing on all cylinders. Saturday's worrying me. Saturday after that's worrying me even more. It should be ironed out by now. The training sessions are done. The trips to Spain are done. The teams, the lesser teams and the friendlies, that's all done. We should be now, even if we didn't win last night, we should have walked away and gone, do you know what? We peppered them. We knocked the ball about nicely. We looked like structured and we looked on form and ready. And in that first 45, we looked anything but that. Second 45 for me was still scrappy. Just two very good passes and two very good finishes. Still didn't blow me away in the second half. And people will now be saying, obviously, as well, I think, well, look, Esse's got to start. Amaku's got to start. Are we going to go that high risk in the Championship? I can tell you now that we definitely won't. I'm not saying that we shouldn't. But I think Gary Rowett, look, is a different type of manager to Dean Holden, and he likes to err on the side of caution. And I think that's exactly what he'll do at Middlesbrough. I think he'll be structured. I think he'll go forward at back. I think he'll be defensive and go one up top. And wingers will tuck in. You could even see Volkshammer there. And you probably would have seen Honeyman there if fit. And then you'll see Esse, Amaku, etc. coming off the bench maybe if we're chasing a game. I know that's a shame. And you're probably saying, no, Dan, don't say that. But I'm just telling you what I think the gaffer will do come the start of the season. And is that right or is that wrong? Well, look, we've succeeded so far under him. It's not always been pretty. It's not always been the football we want to see. But, you know, look, it is possible. Look at Charlton. Okay, they're League One. But they're playing the way they want to play, regardless of who they've got playing for them and whether mistakes come. And it is exciting to watch. But I do feel at that next level in the Championship, if we was to try that and start SA and start a Maku and try and pop teams, I do feel, unfortunately, we could come badly unstuck. I can't be stood here to be proven wrong because I know 100% Gary Rat will not do that. So, yeah, look, Amaku and SA, frightening talents, really, you know, come out of nowhere, especially SA come out of nowhere, and then Amaku looks completely a different type of player than I thought he was going to be. Powerful, strong, quick, aggressive, physical, looking to hurt opposition all the time, cutting, getting into dangerous areas. But will they start in matches in the Championship? Absolutely not under Gary Rowett. I could be completely wrong, but I'm 90% confident that come the season, those two will be bit part players on the bench. And if he was to go all out, what would the outcome be? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. If he was to start SA, if he was to start a Maku, let me know. That is your post-match done. 2-2 it ends. Still, Charlton have not beaten us since 1996, 29 years and counting. The Anoraks have had their cup final and now they have a season to contend with in League One. I will see you at the Den on Saturday for the Zian Fleming derby as Fortuna Sittard come to town. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.